Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in riding high. Just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
He'll look to throw. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, There's nothing but room to run.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Detroit! Detroit! 3 down, 3 down. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Hey, you got 3, you got 3. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They pitch it to Chubb. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And the Steelers set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
This is Bell on the dump off. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, #12 in the league.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
All right, now look at 56.
1st down, Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. This is caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Browns have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's...
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the 1st quarter. Now it's time for the 2nd quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
So that'll back them up 5. A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Brown, his first catch. It's a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he'll go down at the 28. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Right back to him on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey,
here we go.
These pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole other guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They'll drop the throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Bell so light on his feet.
But that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Cleveland after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They run again on first down, Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. Mayfield now. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. We get a glance at the Browns' defense as they file into position. Obviously a close game from the defensive standpoint. Maybe don't want to blow it too much out of proportion, but how important is this drive?
I think it's huge for them because they've got to find a way to help out their offense, whether it's doing it themselves, taking the ball away and scoring, or setting their offense up in a good position to give them a chance to fully be back in this game.
Well, sometimes that defense triggers the offense. We'll see. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Looking to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And way down into the red zone before he's dropped inside of Cleveland's 15. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Now let's go. Boom, landed.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Jarvis Landry and company heading back onto the field now. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them, no matter how many people are put.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. He was looking for Landry that time. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. So we've hit halftime all even at 14. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. And he's been pretty good under the... Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Mayfield now on second down. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
Second down, Mayfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Gone!
On third down, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out, but I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Jarvis Landry and company heading back onto the field now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? It's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
They run it again with Chubb. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. A run for Nick Chubb. Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. The Browns on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Mayfield to throw it. Over the middle, it's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
All right, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is running. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mayfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And it's 3rd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Looking for the end zone. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Let's go. 319.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
You know I'm old school, so I always want a hammer in my backfield. But in short yardage situations, third down pickups, I got to have him. And he picked it up for him right there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Chubb on the counter. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48. Yard line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Browns on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Mayfield. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you. In important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening, Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mayfield on play action. Out to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go.
Mayfield with it once more. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick here is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open man right side of Smith-Schuster, complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play on 3rd there for the Steelers. 57 yards. A good grab there by the former. Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 30.
Back to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And it's no good, just short. He gave it a good run, but maybe a foot or two short of the crossbar.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 37. First down, Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 46. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go! Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. They'll set up to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Patterson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. They'll drop the throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Patterson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
319.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Oh, what a move. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Dances by him. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
right, here we go.
Handoff comes to Chubb, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. The Browns on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mayfield to throw. Going for the deep ball. It's caught at the 10. And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Here we go now.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Cleveland, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
You